good count. Okay. All right. Look, that was everything that we expected with Clemson. I mean, you know, the job that Coach Brunell, his staff, and what their team is all about, that's exactly what we expected. I wish they didn't shoot as well. You know, I mean, I think that's the difference of the game. We had a hard time getting stops. And, you know, if they shoot 68% in the first half and we're winning, you know, I think that's pretty incredible. And in the second half, they didn't slow down much. They shoot over 50%. Pretty sure that's the first time that happened to us this season where a team shot over 50%. So there's a lot of plays you can look to. For me, it's our defense. For me, it's the loose balls. Give them all the credit in the world. I thought we were going to win the game at the end. You know, we talked about this being a one-play kind of game that can be the difference. And you know, really heard for our group, because I thought, look, we have a locker room full of competitors, man. You know, I mean, Tyrese, the job that he did, Con, they got started early, Cooper late. Sure, there's a lot of ways I can help them better, but you have to be really physically prepared for this game and mentally. And we just fell a play short. But for me, it's the defense.
John, they had 40 points in the paint.
Yeah.
What was Clemson? Why were they able to get inside so much? Nobody's really done that against you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and watch the film. They move with such a great pace, you know, on offense. They move with such a great pace. They're doing a good job getting in and out of their ball screens quickly. I don't know if our talk was as good as it needed to be. And then just, I think we'll look back and see some rotations that need to be there weren't there. But give them credit. I thought they just did a great job. Moving on offense, sharing it, and making the right play.
John, you mentioned you thought you guys were going to win the game at the end. What was the intent on that last play coming out of timeout down one, and sort of what did you see from your vantage point?
Well, Cooper, you know, he just Cooper was being Cooper there. You know, he just has a special will, and I thought he got the advantage downhill, and I'm taking that any day of the week, and there's a wet spot, you know, and just sometimes that's how it goes. But he really made every play just in the last couple minutes to will us, and I want to get him downhill.
John, they shot really well from 2-point, and a lot of those came from the mid-range. How much of those were shots that you want them taking that they just wound up making?
You know, I thought in the first half they hit some tough ones. I didn't think we had enough resistance overall in the second half, but I need to go back and watch. You know, there's the game is a little bit of a blur just because of every play is a battle. You know, every play on the defensive end to get a stop, on our offense to execute, to play through contact. And I didn't think the resistance was where it needed to be in the second half. And give them credit. You know, even Hunter, you know, the hit with a minute left or so, the one he hit on Cooper, the step back, that looked to me like a contested, tough shot. They had a bunch of those in the first half, I thought, too.
Cooper was, I think, 2 of his first 11, had 4 points with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
He scored 14 from then on. Other than Cooper being Cooper, was there anything else that flipped the switch or that he did that was different?
Well, I just think it's his competitiveness coming out. And, you know, we've put so much on his shoulders, and I have to help take some of that off, you know, just because there's so much for him defensively, offensively, and I think it's that time. We just got to get his body refreshed, re-energized. He didn't have that same pop even the last couple days in practice. Like, we got to get him back. I got to help him with that because for him, I mean, here's a kid who should have been in high school. Is not his best game, 18-5, and like he just is a special guy. But I think we know with him there's more there that we have to help him recover, and I think not having Mason is a big deal. I mean, I didn't feel we could have really a true sub for him. Either we went smaller or we were to play with some lineups that offensively wouldn't be as good for us either. And we were having a hard time scoring. So that's something that I have to figure out.
Coach, you spent a couple possessions repping zone in the second half, seemed to have some success. Can you talk us through that decision and then going away from it and kind of what your thought process was throughout that?
Well, we were just trying to get a stop, and I didn't think it was very good. I think they just missed shots. We had a couple good possessions, and we were changing our coverages the whole game. We just couldn't seem to get a stop. So I'm never afraid to, detour from the original game plan. I mean, we switched a lot. We trapped some. We dropped some. We did more in this game than we've ever done. Just trying to get stops, and that's a credit to their offense, and that's obviously that's also for our defense where we need to get better.
John, the rebounding edge was pretty tilted toward Clemson.
Yep.
I think it's your worst rebounding performance of the year. Was it physical nature? They had the edge in the physical part of it, or what do you think led to that?
Yeah, I think you got to give them the edge. And, that's really, look, the defense and rebounding, I think there's a few plays into the first half. We didn't come up with the ball. We could have gone into the halftime lead up 8 or 10. It ended up being 6, right? It was 6. And then obviously down the stretch. In those plays, you're working so hard to get a stop. So it takes a lot out of you when you have to guard for another 20 seconds. And I think we're going to look back in the 50-50 balls, which we've won, I think, the whole year. I'm not sure we won. Well, I know we didn't win those tonight.
Last one.
Coach, with Proctor, third straight game scored more than 15. Could you just talk about his performance for you guys this week and how much his leadership helped you guys?
Yeah, Tyrese's been great. I mean, I thought he was just a leader. I thought he was shooting. I thought he was just every part about him. I thought he was just terrific tonight.
John, take one
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, John, you've obviously mentioned a couple of times this season the importance of game pressure, you guys being in situations like this. I know you're not looking for more victories. You mentioned you've got competitors in the
Right.
locker room. What did you tell them after this? What's sort of the message? How do you try and harness this?
Well, man, this loss, it hurts, because, I think this group is on the verge of doing something special. And, like I said, there wasn't 1 ounce of us that didn't think we were winning this game. And, I just told them afterwards, this game has got to mean something. Ultimately, I've had different championship caliber teams where you have a game like this where you're right there, and if we get one stop and win, you're not going to be able to have the same feeling that you would have if you lose. And losing sucks. I hate it more than anything. Our team hates it. So I know we're going to have a group that responds and can really get us to a place where we need to be, because look, this is what March is. This is what ACC basketball is. They're give them all the credit in the world. I mean, they were tough. We were tough, and it's a play here or there. So for me, I believe in this team more than anything. I'm going to look at what I can do better. I'm going to ask the guys the same thing, and we're going to get back safely tonight, and then get back to work on Monday and keep building. All right.
Thanks, John.